Taking a deep breath, you gripped the bottle and span it with a sharp flick of the wrist. Some of your classmates whooped and hollered, waiting for it to stop, while you spent the time quietly chanting for it to land on absolutely anyone but Mineta. When it finally came to a stop, you could tell who it had landed on simply by the way the girl squealed and giggled with excitement. The quiet but kind heartthrob Todoroki. Your gazes met across the room. You knew for certain you were blushing, but couldn't tell how Todoroki felt even when Midoriya whispered something in his ear, looking jittery. As the two of you rose to your feet, Ashido and Hagakure wolf whistled and told you how lucky you were to get someone so handsome. While that was true, you really, really wished you didn't have 19 sets of eyes watching the whole thing. The two of you met in the middle. As soon as you were in front of him, a bout of nerves rushed through you and you had to close your eyes. You didn't want to see if he pulled some disgusted face. You waited and waited. "Come on, man," you heard Kaminari say with a hint of desperation. "Kiss listener." Your chest tightened. Oh no, he was hesitating. How mortifying! In front of everyone too! Wait. His hand was on your shoulder. It stayed there for a moment, cold as ice on your skin, as you gasped quieter than a breath as a ripple of shock ran through you. Was he really going to? He touched your neck, tentatively stroking upwards towards your face as goosebumps bloomed across your skin in response to him. You couldn't believe the way he was touching you. You repressed a shiver as he cupped one side of your face, then his other hand found you, a welcomed warmth to zap the chill away as he pressed in closer. The room was silent. Not that you could hear it for the sound of your beating heart in your ears. Todoroki's hands were so gentle. He held your face, rubbing slow circles over your cheeks as his breath fanned your skin. It no longer felt like you were playing a game. His caresses felt genuine, and you could feel yourself melting into his touch. He leaned in, his familiar, pepperminty scent tantalizing you as it filled your senses. You forgot where you were. You forgot everyone else. Then he kissed you, and there was only him and you, and the stark contrast of his lips, both impossibly warm and impossibly cold. They were firm against yours, holding steady as if to give you a moment to relax. Then he dared to break away and kiss you again, sending your senses into overdrive. He held you close, his feet tangling with yours as his lips dared to kiss you so boldly. You managed to respond while battling your pulsing heart, parting your lips to invite him into you. He kissed you again, letting his tongue drag over your lower lip. You couldn't help the hum that came from the back of your throat, loving the way your lips tingled, begging for him to do it again. But all too soon, reality came down on top of you when Yao Momo coughed to grab your attention. You felt Todoroki's hesitation to let you go, but pulled away when Kaminari laughed. "Dude, you were meant to peck Listener on the cheek." You squeaked, feeling your cheeks hot up when you realized things had been taken too far. You saw that Midoriya and Koda were desperately red in the face. Yao Momo was refusing to look at you, and Zero had dutifully covered Mineta's eyes while grinning like a Cheshire cat himself. Then the room erupted with jeers, cheers, and whooping. You wanted the floor to swallow you whole, but still quietly enjoyed the way the tingle of Todoroki's warm and cool lips lingered on yours. As the shouting continued, mixed now with the want for 2 more people to kiss, you gave Todoroki another glance but found him returning to his seat already. You took yours, then Ashido said you were exempt for a few rounds to give the others chance, so could take a break from the circle. You got up and went to the open-plan kitchen area, choosing to get yourself a drink. You looked at Todoroki again, quietly conversing with Midoriya, then took a cup from one of the overhead cupboards and went to the fridge in search of some orange juice. Closing the fridge door, you nearly spilled your drink when you found Todoroki standing in front of you. "Oh, Todoroki," you said, feeling your cheeks prickling as the memory of his hands cupping your face drifted into your mind. Can I help you?"
"Sorry," he said, running his hand through his hair. "I've never played that before. Did I overstep?"
"No, it's okay. I was just surprised."
"Midoriya wasn't very clear with the game's instructions," he said.
"What do you mean?" You took a seat at the island and offered Todoroki a place beside you, which he accepted. Curiosity had the better of you.
"I asked him how I was supposed to kiss you, and he said try to forget there's people watching and only do what I was comfortable with."
You had just put your drink to your lips, but nearly spat the contents out. "That's what you're comfortable doing?" Todoroki frowned.
"That's what Midoriya said too."
You glanced towards the circle and caught the innocent broccoli watching the two of you with interest. He smiled awkwardly at you, then tried to focus on the game to give you privacy. You didn't realize why until Todoroki added,
"If it was anyone else, I would have pecked them on the cheek. But Midoriya told me to do what I felt comfortable doing with you. I didn't realize there was a wrong answer."
Your ears burned from how hot your face became. Suddenly unable to speak, you took a giant swig of your drink and held it there. Had Todoroki really just said that? Did he realize what he had said? Your brain worked overtime, fitting cogs together and finding replacement parts as your mind threatened to fry.
"Are you okay?"
Todoroki asked, noticing the red tinge to your cheeks.
"Are you hot?"
He placed his hand to your forehead, lowering the temperature of his palm a fraction to cool you down. You squeaked, but smiled all the same, unable to stop yourself. You put your cup down and looked at him. "That wasn't the wrong answer," you reassured him. In fact, it was the very right answer. But there were a lot of people watching, so I felt a bit shy." You glanced away, never feeling shyer than right now. Todoroki considered you, keeping his hand against your forehead while your cheeks continued to stain a light red.
"Then,"
he said after a moment, regarding the way you glanced at the countertop.
"Perhaps like this?"
You wondered what he meant until he leaned in close to you and placed a single, gentle kiss to your cheek. They burned hotter and your face turned redder. Yes, that's fine. Like that. That works." Todoroki cupped your face, turning you to look at him, but he looked genuinely concerned.
"I think we need to take you to a doctor. You look like you're burning up."
Both hands turned cold on your skin, a desperate attempt by him to help ease your temperature. You could only laugh, aware how much redder your face could still turn when those in the circle looked over at you. "No, Todoroki, seriously, I'm fine."